called the zoo in the sky. So from the topic, from the title, I'm sure many of you are like, zoo in the sky? You know, what's that about? But I mean, come on, those who are woke should know what I'm talking about. What is in a zoo? I mean, I'm not talking about the popcorn you have to buy before you enter and all the snacks, all the ticket and all them things there. Predominantly, you have animals in a zoo. So if I'm basically talking about the zoo in the sky, I'm talking about probably the sky has animals. The animals in the sky are known as the constellations. Remember that game, or it's not a game really, I mean, it's an exercise in these activity books that we would even buy for our children. It has connect the dots, remember? So these constellations, these stars, groups of them form constellations. And ancient people, okay, from time antiquity, actually connected the dots together to form certain images. These images, most of them, took on the images and the personification of animals. Now, the word zodiac, remember, zodiac is the animals in the sky. The word zodiac, we can see it relates to the word zoo. And the study of anything is called ology. So zoology is the study of animals. It relates to the word zodiac. The word zodiac goes back to Latin. It actually goes back to Greek, which is zodiacus or zodion. And zodion means in Greek a sculptured animal. So we can see that this word basically speaks about animals, which is the constellations in the sky. Now, these constellations reside along a belt known as the ecliptic belt. The sun travels through this ecliptic belt every year. Okay, so along this belt we have the 12 constellations. I mean, there are actually 13 of them, but this 13th constellation, known as Ophiuchus, or the serpent holder, his knee or his leg doesn't always actually rest on that ecliptic belt. The ecliptic belt, one can actually say as well, is a projection of the Earth's orbit onto the celestial sphere. So we're going to be moving along the ecliptic belt and touching each and every constellation. And as we all should know right now, this constellation release prominences or gases or energy which affects humanity. So if you did do your natal chart, I don't know which video you actually watch first, right? I urge my subscribers and the family to actually do a natal chart for them to know which qualities they actually possess, okay? This information will also help you deal with people, because not everyone is born under your sign. So if you know how to relate to them, if you know the qualities, the greatest and the weakest points, you would know how to deal with certain individuals. So this is what we're going to go into today, how the constellations, when someone is born under a particular sign, all right, the good and the bad attributes. So we're going to take it from one. First off, we have Aries. So all Aries born, okay, are very short-tempered. That is the worst trait. And the best trait is they're very optimistic. All right. So they actually have this foresight of the future and very feeling good about it, you know, very optimistic in regards to future events. But then they are very short-tempered, right? Anyone who know an Aries born, before anything, they don't screw already, right? They don't let off the fuse already. Okay. Next, we have Taurus. Now, those born under the Taurus sign, their worst trait is they are very self-indulgent, even over self-indulgent. Like, they're always on their own level, right? They don't really intermingle like that. Like, they're always on their own, you know, want to be sort of like an introvert, we can say. But the best trait is that they are very loyal. When they tell you that you have a Taurus bedroom, Taurus bedroom that's actually, you know, a close friend, they will actually remain loyal to the end of time. Okay, if an event happens that disrupts this completely. I hope the family is getting this right. So next on the list we have Gemini, the constellation of Gemini. People born under that sign, the worst trait is that they are very two-faced. So they might tell you one thing and actually mean another thing. But the best trait is that they are very energetic, right? They actually put a lot of energy into anything that they do. Okay, moving along, family, we have Cancer. And we all should know Cancers, the worst trait is that they are over-emotional. Before anything, you know, some emotions strike them and they don't feel in a way about some kind of thing already. So, and the best trait is that they are quite maternal, so that they are very family-wise. They deal with a lot of family issues, you know, they love to be around family, right? And next on the list, we have Leo. And the worst trait is that they are very impulsive, okay? Before anything, you know, they just let it off still, and the whole approach to a situation is basically the first response. but the best trait is that they are very friendly. They are very friendly people, Leo people. Virgo, okay, they are over self-critical of themselves. All right, so they will be quite harsh on themselves in terms of judgment and in terms of life, thinking that probably, they're not making it, or, it's probably taking a little longer, and I'm probably not good enough, or, so they are quite self-critical of themselves, probably a bit too, not probably, most times a bit too much. But the best trait is that they are gifted. They are gifted within certain skills, probably drawing or certain painting or just different attributes, right? You will find them really gifted within a particular skill or within various skills. Next on the list, we have Libra. Libra, the worst trait is that they are indecisive. So they are sort of procrastinators, you can say. But the best trait is that they are quite balanced in how they deal with affairs. And in Scorpio people, worst traits, they are quite moody, okay? Just like Cancers when they are over emotional. But the best trait is that they are quite passionate, right? About life and about even people and circumstances, experiences, I should say. Sagittarius is next, and we deal with that they are unemotional. That's the worst trait. But the best trait is that they are independent. Most Sagittarius people can actually stand on their own 2 feet. And in Aquarius, the worst trait is sort of like Sagittarius, in that they are very unemotional, they are very aloof, right? And sort of emotionally absent from most situations. That is the worst trait. But the best trait is that they are more or less a humanitarian. They feel committed to do things to help out humanity and to help out people, okay? Pisces, the worst trait is that they are oversensitive as well. But the best trait is that their imagination is very vast, we can say. All right? And lastly, family, we have Sagittarius. Now, the worst traits of these people, they are very impatient, okay? And the best traits are they are very intellectual. Now, family, this is just an overview. I'm not going to go into every negative or every positive trait for each and every constellation, right? I mean, you guys can do a little research, but these are the best and the worst traits. Now, knowing these will actually help you deal with people better, right? Because sometimes the way some people react or get on, it's sometimes not really their fault, but they were actually born that way. Okay? So knowing these things will help us know how to approach people, on what level we should be dealing with them, you understand? And that sort of can bring about a general understanding, okay, and a mutual love between both parties, or how many parties that there are. But adding to the fact that these constellations, okay, and everyone born under these constellations, all right, have certain traits about them. These constellations also affect our physical anatomy, in the fact that each constellation actually, if you put it against the human anatomy, it actually resides upon whether it is an organ or an outside feature of the anatomy. So starting from the beginning, okay, we're going to start from Aries, because Aries is the head, as they say, right? According to them, according to the Greek mythology and the Romans. Aries is the head. If many of you remember the picture of the Last Supper, all right, in a couple of our videos really, or I think it was the issue about Jesus Christ. The Last Supper, Bartholomew was at the head of the table. Both of his hands was at the head of the table. No other disciple had their hands at the head of the table. He represented Aries. Aries is also the constellation when the sun passes the vernal equinox, all right? It is the first constellation, and when the sun resides in Aries, okay, it was actually the pronouncement as well of even the character named Moses in the Bible, all right? So Aries, because it's at the head, even within the Last Supper as well, Aries deals with the head, all right? Then we have Taurus. Taurus deals with the throat. Gemini deals with the arms. Cancer deals with the hands, all right? Leo deals with the heart. Next we have Virgo, deals with the stomach. Libra deals with the kidneys. Scorpio deals with the pelvis. Sagittarius deals with the thighs. Capricorn deals with the legs. Aquarius with the ankles, and Pisces with the feet. Now, why am I mentioning all of this? If the family is really paying attention to this, okay, whether the sign you are born under, okay, and this sign, if you check that the part of the body that it falls under, you will actually realize, okay, depending upon whether the sun or whichever planet is rising within that sign when you are born, it will actually show that you are quite prevalent, okay, in that aspect or you might be suffering in that aspect. So Aries borns are quite intellectual. If they are not intellectual, they will suffer from something that deals with their heads, or they will suffer from a lot of headaches. All right. Mine, for example, Cancer people. Cancer deals with the hands. So Cancer people are actually very good with their hands. Anything that they put their hands to, they are very good with it. All right. And if not, then they are suffer from something, like arthritis or something of that sort. So the family should take that, okay, and apply that to yourself, right? And when you also do the natal chart and get more information, you can match it up against yourself to get all this is in an effort to get to know yourself better, family, right? So this was the zoo in the sky. Okay, we touched upon how it affects you as a human organism, all right, in the fact that your attributes being born under a particular sign, and we also showed how all these signs actually reside on the human anatomy. So this has been the zoo in the sky, just a short video to just share with the family how these constellations affect us. And if you did pay attention to, or if you did watch, I should say, our other video, Solar Science Part 3, we touched upon the planets and also the effect and these vibrations that they have on us here, light beings, having a physical experience while here on Earth. Having said that, family, peace to the family, nothing but love for you, namaste.